Good morning, Israel. Good morning, believers. It's Word of Truth with JD Nija. Coffee with JD Nija. Oh, shoot. All right. Good morning. Good morning. So, before I get started, all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, the only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit, Yahweh, Jesus Christ, and the Ruach gives us His power, wisdom, knowledge, ability to figure out these scriptures against the odds. I hear people talking about the fallen ones, these giants, these men of renown, and I'm going to try and explain how I think the Lord sees it, by the way the Bible explains it, not particularly through the translations or the transliterations, but the actual Hebrew words and what they mean. So in Genesis, in the beginning, when it talks about the giants and the mixing that created these giants, starts in Genesis 6:1, and it reads, "And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also his flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. And there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown." So, let's look at the facts here. The sons of God, those were the sons of Seth. Correct? So these sons of God, these godly children, these good guys, you might say, the good guys. So the good guys started sleeping with the daughters of the heathens, or the daughters of the pagans, or the daughters of the other people, the people of Cain, the ones that were kind of not filled with any God. They had no God. They had no spirit. They were, they didn't understand the ways of God. They were basically ignorant. So what happened, what these scriptures are trying to explain, in a way that it should be much simpler than people make it. It's basically saying you're not supposed to mix godly people with ungodly people. That's all it's saying. And these giants, these men of renown, these freaks of nature, were the result of, like I've said before, what is a human? A human is a spiritual monster. So when it talks of giants and it talks of these beasts, yeah, some of them grew really tall, and it was a weird thing because the strength of spirit in these Canaanites, these dummies, these people of the earth, they had one spirit, and then you mix it with the spirit of Seth, which is the power of the heavens, and you got this freak beast, this quote giant or Nephilim. Basically, it's just saying that they created a monster. The wickedness of Cain's line and the spiritual strength of Seth's line mixed together made for a type of person that was both spiritual and fleshy. That's why it says right here in verse 3 of the same chapter 6, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. What he's saying is, he wants his people, he wants his sons, but there was the wicked side, the dumb side, the ignorant side, the people that didn't understand him running around out here too. And so when the two seeds mixed, he's like, oh man. And what does he say after that? There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. So when it says they had reputation, they had name, it's not so much talking about they were known to be good guys. They were just known because they were there. They were big and they were obnoxious. They were going from place to place, causing wickedness, showing both sides. They would probably use their spiritual side to fool people, and then they would do their wickedness behind their back. So when it talks of these giants, it's mainly talking about this fallen. We're not fallen from heaven. We're fallen from grace. And when you talk of fallen angels, people are getting their imagination, their vain imagination mixed up with the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is, the sons of God are of Seth's line, and they were here to set an example and to take control of the beasts and of the field and of the other ignorant humans, the line of Cain and these heathens. That was God's plan, is to set up an order, and even the sons of God couldn't resist leaving their first habitation, which was to stick with their own people. So when it says they were cast down, they were sent. Their spiritual line was sent into a fallen state by mixing the seed with these ignorant, arrogant beasts of humans that created these monsters, these Nephilim. So, of course, people are gonna want to argue, and they love that idea of these fallen angels, these angels running around that are wicked and this and that. we're all a mix of good and evil. And like the Bible says, there's none of us that are good. Not one. We're all filthy rags, because the intermixing has been so thorough. That is why we had to have Yahushua, Hamashiach, Jesus Christ. That's why the Lord had to come up with this story, this plan, this reality, this word. The word had to speak about fixing the problem. So what's it say? And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So that's exactly what I'm trying to say is this this passage is basically giving you the idea of what the whole story is about. And it's right at the beginning. It's in the 6th chapter of Genesis. It is outlining the problem that the Lord had with creating beings that could apprehend him, and that he could apprehend in them. It was for the Heavenly Father to be able to apprehend himself as other. So if he could be inside a human body and apprehend himself as a creator who created himself, that's what he wanted. He wants us to know that we are the closest thing to him that is around, and to honor that and say, all we are is the other apprehending God through himself. We are him separated from himself, so that we can see God wanted to see himself through someone else's eyes. So what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to stand back and say, he is God. He is the I am. I am the I am. I am of the I am. Everything is of the I am. That means I am of everything, and everything is me. This is Hebrew reality. When you go into the deeper meanings of this Hebrew religion, you know that's one of the main tenets, is understanding that reality, that we are children of the Most High, and he loves us, and he wants us reconciled back to him. And by telling people of him and telling people what his character is and what he wants, and that's the word. That's the good word. The good word is we can talk about our God together and apprehend him together, and that's what he wants. He wants us to know him. He wants us to see him as he is, a loving but stern father, right? And so it says, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So he's saying it right to your face. Stop talking about these fucking fallen angels. Your imaginations are running away with you. And that's what people want to hear. That's why that's where religion trumps spirituality, is because in religion, we have to come up with all these crazy stories of angels getting kicked out of heaven in this big war between good and evil, and Cain and Abel and Esau. And you're missing the point. And that's where GMS is all fucking whacked out of their head. Esau's evil and this and that. The whole world is given onto evil. And we're in an evil place. The way you escape evil is to understand that it's all judgment. It's all judgment for not recognizing who your God is. That's all it is. Let me see what I got. 16 minutes. All right, so what's it say after that? Verse 6, right? Genesis 6:6. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Why is he grieved? Why is he upset, people? Because the imaginations of men is only wickedness. The young pretty girl has tattoos all over her arms. And that's an example of wickedness. Not supposed to be marking up your body. Why? It's disgusting. It really is. It's the ultimate in disrespect for the Lord. I mean, to a certain extent, I can understand people taking drugs and putting things in their body that make them feel better for a minute. Might make them laugh, might make them sleep, might take pain away, might give them energy. We're in this body, and it can use the pain of this existence is enough to drive anyone to escape somehow. But to just make your body a billboard, a fucking walking advertisement for Satan, it just doesn't. I don't see the but there's nothing that you could say that I forget the word. There's nothing redeeming about it. There's not one redeeming thing about marking your body up. I'm going to move on. And it repented. So every imagination of his thoughts of his heart was evil continually. So what do we have? We have these people thinking all these vain imaginations. Oh, Esau Edom, the white man, is the devil. He's the destroyer. Da, da, da. Yeah, in general, there's an evil bunch of people, but they're not just white people. I mean, yeah, maybe the top elites are of that type, but of the 13 families, of the wicked families, they're not all white. And that's what GMS doesn't understand. It's like when the truth comes out and you see the true color of wickedness, it's not going to be a human form. It's going to be a spiritual form. And that's where the ignorance and the imagination of their hearts completely get lost. What the Lord's saying here is, I thought that the way I did it, the spirit would overcome the flesh. But obviously, in this 3D junkyard, the flesh and Satan has rule. That's why we have to walk in the spirit and be in the spirit and not walk in the flesh, because the flesh has nothing good for us. And we're supposed to enhance our spirit every chance we get. Speak kindly to people, do kindly to people, be helpful, be true, be honest, be loving. It's the misunderstanding about these fallen angels and these demons, and where the demons came from is through this mixing, for sure. You're mixing good with bad, and then now all of a sudden you have spiritual humans that are of mixed bloodline. So you have good and bad mixed together, which creates these demons. And the goal for each person is to fight that urge to be wicked and to be hateful and to steal and to kill and to hate on people, lie, cheat. I mean, come on, people. It's about your actions, your spirit. What are you trying to accomplish here? I talked to my the lady I deal with last night, and it's the lack of understanding. She was saying to me, "Why were you out at the bar last night? And do these people know that you speak of God every morning? And don't you feel like a hypocrite?" And not in those words, but that's what she was alluding to. And it's like, who did Jesus hang out with? He hung out with the tax collectors, the downtrodden, the drinkers, the ones that were selling their bodies. He was going he was among the people that needed him most, because that's where the demons are. So when I go out among these people, am I out there saying, "Hey, let's go do wickedness. Hey, you're really hot. Let me have sex with you," or let's figure out a way to steal from someone? Or no, not at all. I'm saying, how do you feel? How's your body? Are you well? I care about you as best I can, because at this point in time, I feel a lot like God. Why did he let this fucking mess continue? It says, "And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth," Genesis 6:6, "and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them." So he's turning back. He's like, I don't know why I did this. And that's what we're supposed to be saying. I don't know why I do want to do evil. I don't know why I'm wicked. I don't know why I'm so scared of everything, or whatever it may be. And I think a lot of the reason why people want to believe in devils and fallen angels and all that is because they need to have something that they can say that they're better than. Well, at least I'm not a fallen angel. At least I'm not one of those ones that are with the devil, or blah, blah, blah. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You don't need to make up any fallen angels. You don't need to make up the spirits, the angels, the spirits that we can't see. The ones that are in the chariots that are watching us all the time. They're all around us. They're the celestial, and we're the physical, but in our physical we have spirits. And the goal is to recognize that the spirit you are is the spirit God created you to be. And you can either go with the wicked, ignorant side and say, blah, 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 I believe in fallen angels, blah, 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 I believe Esau's the white devil, blah, 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 blah. All you're doing is setting yourself up for shame and disgrace. You could say, J.D. Nija, he's a hypocrite, or he doesn't know what he's talking about. He makes mistakes. He uses the Bible as a crutch, or whatever you can say that makes you feel better. But at the truth, the bottom line is, I love this book. I love the Lord. I love the whole theme of his story. I understand his how he feels about us. At least I try to understand how he feels about us. I try and give him the benefit of the doubt, and I try and give other people the benefit of the doubt, because that's the good. That's looking for the good. That's not looking to point fingers. See, if you're thinking of these fallen angels and the 1/3 that came down with Satan and blah blah blah, and were cast down, and you're missing the allegory of the story. The story, all that's saying is that a good part of people and a good part of yourself is of that ignorant and false imagination bloodline. You are the elite, wicked Edomite Cain in a lot of ways. 1/3 of you is that. And so when it says we left our first habitation, we went onto these wicked people against the knowledge that the Lord didn't want that. And so that's why he flooded the earth, because he's like, I got to wake these people up. I got to let them know who's boss here. And that's when Noah, right after that, he went to Noah and said, hey, these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. So what's that mean? Walked with God. See, that's what J.D. Nija is trying to do. I'm trying to have authority here by walking with God and having a relationship with him, so that I can tell you, this is the truth. Be careful. There's a lot of people that want you to get excited about you're an Israelite, you're a chosen of God, you're 144,000 elect, you are good, and everyone else is evil. They're fallen angels, and you're of the good angels, and all that kind of nonsense. That's your vain imagination. Bob Marley said it. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Mighty God is a living man, and that's the truth. We are of God. We were made in his image. So I'm gonna close out on this one and see if I can find some more instances of what this mixing did, and why we're so, how the devil fucked this story up for us by translating the original Hebrew ideas that were way more direct. See, I'll be back. I'm at 30. I'll be back.